За огляд матчу, в якому зіграє Девід Гілберт і Марк Селбі. Гілберт 23 в рейтингу, Селбі 5. І грається турнір British Open. Також на цьому турнірі грає Інджер Ху, Марк Джей Вільямс, Хосейн Вафейн, Джо Хіггінс, Шон Мерфі, Джет Трам, Марк Селбі. Так і грається четвертий раунд турніра, мається вихід в четвертьфінальну стадію турніра British Open.
But at his best, one of the best players to watch. He's got a lovely forward game, beautiful cue action.
Марк Селбі забиває червоний шар в ліву лузу. Вихід на синій шар. Дальній удар в Селбі по чорному шару. Забиває його в дальню праву лузу.
Mark Selby, of course, is one of the modern greats, without a shadow of a doubt. 9 Triple Crown titles, 4 of them World Championships. Won his first at the Crucible, coming from a long way down on the first day to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan, 18-14 on the final day. And then made back-to-back World Championship titles in 2016 and 17.
Так, Селбі набирає 59 очок в першому фреймі. Вихід на чорний. Забиває його в ближню ліву лузу. Вихід на червоний шар. Так, і Селбі виграє перший фрейм. І веде в цьому матчі з рахунком 1-0. Лишається Селбі. Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
But he's missed that long range red, so half a chance for Gilbert if he can clip this in. Can he get through to the potting angle of the black? Looks tight. Maybe he can. Good, but he's lost position in the process. Gilbert first turned pro back in 2011. It's the accolade of being the man to have made the 147th 147 break. That was in the Championship League in 2019. His opponent made history at the Crucible this year by being the first player ever to make a maximum in a world final. What an electric moment that was in the tournament. Crowd were going balmy at the end of that. Special moment for Selby, albeit that ultimately he was pipped to the post by Luca Brissell. He's just delighted to be playing well again and enjoying his snooker again, which wasn't always the case a year or so ago. And of course, eventually was runner-up to Ryan Day. This season, he started well. He's already made the semi-finals of the European Masters, where he lost to eventual champion Barry Hawkins, and the Shanghai Masters. And again, it was the eventual winner, Ronnie O'Sullivan, I should say, who beat him. He has qualified for the upcoming ranking events in China, in Wuhan and in Tianjin, for the International Championship in November. Wuhan coming up in just over a couple of weeks' time. First ranking event to be staged in China since COVID. So it's been a very encouraging start to the new campaign for Selby, but nothing like lifting a trophy. And that's very much his goal. If he can get through tonight, get into the quarterfinals, then it becomes something that we'll feel is definitely on the cards for him. Selby, as we know, loves the longer matches. The longer they are, the more difficult he is to beat. Although he has had plenty of success over the short format as well. He's won 7 European Tour titles. He played over the best of 7 frames from beginning to end. So he can adapt his game. Of course, he made the final of the shootout as well a couple of seasons back. So it doesn't really matter what the format is, what the length is, Selby can be very effective at it.
Selby.
But he has to settle for 30 and a 22-point lead in this opening frame.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Selby back in with an excellent opening red then, and with a great chance, given the state of the table, to close out the opening frame. Gilbert resigning himself to this frame having gone by the wayside, barring something unlikely from here. So we've still got a bit to do. I'd expect him to do it.
22.
Hasn't landed perfectly on his next red. He has to be a little careful, because if he were to miss, then it would be a very presentable chance for Gilbert to get back in the frame. We're back in full control now. High Long and Fan Zhengyi are level, by the way, at 1 frame all. O'Brien has taken the opening frame against Lazowski.
29.
Barry Hawkins getting underway against Yi Guajian. Red in the colour, and Selby should be 1-0 up.
Forty-seven. 48. 52. 54.
3 frame do termo.
Looking sharp, Selby. That was a lovely pot. Yes, the frame has well and truly been won already, but nothing like knocking in those long pots like that one to build your confidence.
Selby 59.
Mark Selby dominates the opening frame of our second match this evening on table 1 with a quarter-final place up for grabs here at the British Open. Selby leads Dave Gilbert by 1 frame to 0. 4, of course, is the target for a place in the last 8. And the winner, of course, will play the winner of the match ongoing now on table 2, Jack Lazowski and Fergal O'Brien. O'Brien has taken the opening frame. Lazowski has been in 6 ranking finals, but is still to win one. Could it possibly be his week? He's certainly got his work cut out tonight. If he does come through against O'Brien, he'll know he's been in a battle. Let's just have a look at what's happening on table 4. Fan Zhengyi is playing High Long. Fan who won the European Masters. One of the biggest shocks in the history of the game, actually. Beating Ronnie O'Sullivan in the title match to win that. And Ma, of course, earlier this year won the World Amateur Championship, beating Yorkshire's Stan Moody in the final. Moody having won the junior version of the title. Both are now professionals. Moody lost to an outstanding performance from Barry Hawkins in the first round here this week. Still in its early stages. The winner of that will play Mark Williams, who of course earlier came from 2-0 behind to beat Ding Junhui by 4 frames to 2 for just his 6th victory over Ding in their 15th meeting.
Thank you. The second frame. Mark Selby to break.
So Mark Selby, fresh from dominating the opening frame. Will break off in frame number 2. Break of 59, helping him to get the job done in that opener. Terrific pot from Gilbert. He's been quite open about his struggles last year, Gilbert. He was actually
6.
sorting out his club back home. Opened a club and got very involved, very hands-on with preparing for its opening, decorating and so on and so forth, and I think he found that it began to take over his life and perhaps impacted negatively on his snooker. He had various other issues to contend with, and at one stage last season he walked out of a match when he was 3-2 down to Andy Hicks in a race to 5, having missed a pot. Said afterwards he was embarrassed that he'd done it, but it was indicative of his negative state of mind at the time. But hopefully feeling a lot better about himself and his game right now, because when he is on form, he is a delight to watch. He's such a natural player. And of course came within a frame of beating the great John Higgins to make the world final back in 2019. In fact, he was ahead in that match almost throughout the entirety of it. Higgins just pipping him to the post at the last. It was obviously a frustrating loss for him, quite an emotional loss, but it was that period of form that got him up to world number 10. He also made the final of the German Masters and the English Open that year. Before breaking his ranking title duck by winning the Championship League in 2021, but there's no substitute for winning a knockout tournament like this. A fully fledged ranking event. And he's certainly good enough to do it. But what a task he's got this evening to get past Mark Selby. He's clearly playing well.
Twenty-six. 4. Tonight.
Excellent response so far from Gilbert to losing that opening frame. Got in with a cracking long red.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
So this blue and one more red, and it should be 1-1. Gilbert here, courtesy of victories over Ryan Thomason, Lou Shan, a match that went to the wire, Lou missing a pink when it looked as though he was going to win it. And then Ishpreet Singh Chadha, who knocked out Stuart Bingham. And this has been a really good riposte after Selby won the opening frame, and what a red that is. Fantastic queuing. One of the long pots of the week, that one. And it's set up this break, which is surely one in the frame. So both players look to be queuing very nicely.
7. 78.
Mark Selby knows exactly how good Dave Gilbert can be. He's seen him close up many times, both on the match table and indeed in the practice room, so this won't be remotely
85.
surprising to him.
86.
And he's one of those players, Gilbert, who can make the game look very simple with the way he goes about it. So this for the century. And then it goes. Well played.
100.
Crowd enjoyed that. Beautiful smile from Selby. Sometimes you need a bit of luck as well as all the skill. 366 career centuries for Gilbert, his 8th of the season. An excellent reply from Dave Gilbert. A century after Mark Selby dominated the opening frame, so battle joined in style. It's one frame apiece here in Cheltenham. Over on table 3, Barry Hawkins underway against He Guojiang. Hawkins has been playing some fantastic snooker already this season after having a difficult season, of course, last season. Yes, he did make the final of the European Masters, losing to Kyron Wilson, but apart from that, it was a campaign to forget, so much so that he fell out of the top 16. He had to try and qualify for the Crucible. Very unusual territory for him, and failed to do so, losing to Jack Jones in the final qualifying round. But this season, he's come out all guns blazing, winning the European Masters in fine style, beat Luke Brissell, Mark Selby and Judd Trump in the final, and he's picked up where he left off in that event. This week in Cheltenham, he's been queuing beautifully. The victory that we brought you at the start of the week over Stan Moody was very impressive in how clinical he was against the new professional, and has carried on that form. Took out Kyron Wilson with something to spare earlier, and is clearly the favourite going into this match this evening, but as you can see, he's some way behind. 34 in fact, and of course there's just the one red left, so just about enough for him to pinch that frame, but he's missed the red. We'll keep you up to date with developments there.
Dave Gilbert.
Dave Gilbert, fresh from the century, breaking off in frame 3. One apiece with Mark Selby. Or with this one, to play the Jack Mazowski or Fergal O'Brien. Fan Zhengyi now leads Ma Hailong by 2 frames to 1, early stages of frame 4. And Fergal O'Brien has doubled his lead over Lazowski, who's looked extremely good this week. No breaks to speak of, but a 2-0 advantage for the veteran. started the previous frame with a fantastic red. That one, though, was a long way off. So far off that it very nearly disappeared into the right centre pocket, which would have been a fluke and a half. As it is, he's let Selby in.
One.
Looking for a cannon there, Selby. In a prime position.
Nine.
Terrific pot. Great recovery. Just about dropped. Gravity took over there for Selby. It was the pace or lack of it that allowed this red to drop. From that angle, it looked as though it was staying above ground, but to his relief and to the disappointment of Gilbert, it disappeared.
Так, 3 фрейма до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Tell you that Hei Guojiang has taken the opening frame against Barry Hawkins. Hei was a former World Under-18 champion and qualified for the tour this season via the Asia Oceania Q School. He's already beaten Byron Wilson this season in the Wuhan Open. And now he's looking for a place in the quarterfinals of the British Open. That would be some achievement, wouldn't it? In his rookie season, so early in the campaign. Long way to go, of course, but he's made a good start. We've also had the semi-final draw for this tournament. And of course, the semi-finals are coming up on Saturday over the best of 11 frames. It's going to be Hawkins or Hei Guojiang, or Wafai and Williams. Ma Hailong and Fan Zhengyi. That's one half of the draw. stayed on track here with this red into the left corner, Selby. Both players look in the mood to punish the others' mistakes this evening. Not that Selby made a mistake in the second frame. It was just a fantastic long pot from Gilbert that got him in for that century. He missed the black, and as a result of that, the cue ball didn't go where he intended, and he's pushed himself out of position. It'll annoy Selby because he was close to getting into a position to clinch a 2-1 lead there. Gilbert having taken on a long red at the start of this frame, and unlike the previous one, got it all wrong and let Selby in for this chance. So what a recovery, not for the first time this evening. Selby coming up with a terrific pot to keep the break going. Beautifully struck, look at that, right in the heart of the pocket. So 75 left on the table. It's gone too far again though. Break, I think, this time for sure. He's playing on the red closest to the right cushion. And that red and another black would have been the frame for Selby barring snookers, so you can understand his frustration.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Selby, 60.
Selby remains in complete control of this frame, 60 in front with 75 left, but he's now got Gilbert snookered on all reds. Wazowski is on the point of halving the deficit against Fergal O'Brien on table 2. It's going to be 2-1 to O'Brien very shortly. Fan Zhengyi still leading high long, 2 frames to 1. Has made breaks of 81, 71 and 54 in the frame in progress. And there is Jack Wazowski finishing off that 3rd frame to get himself back in contention.
Miss. Might have Selby 4.
Well, foul 4 and a miss, but that's not going back. This is a chance for Selby to clinch the frame now. Didn't connect with the part of the cushion that he wanted to there. He wanted to land the other side of the red so that Selby couldn't pot it. But he caught more of the jaw than the cushion, and that's why he landed where he did. So this black, and Gilbert will need 2 snookers.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
So Mike Selby definitely now winning this 3rd frame to move back in front. Harold Hawkins is on a break of 57 as I speak, looking to level up with He Guojiang. 1 frame all. Mark Selby dominating frame 3. Dave Gilbert took on a long red just as he did in the 2nd frame, but this time he missed it by a distance, and Selby controlled the frame from there and moves to within 2 frames of the quarterfinals here in Cheltenham. He leads 2-1. Lord Lawler, another. Improving once again, a tough nut to crack. Won the first 2 frames without making any sizable breaks. Early stages of frame 4. And just a reminder that whoever wins that match will be playing the winner of the match on table 1. Mark Selby having just gone 2-1 up on Dave Gilbert. Mark Selby seeking his 92nd ranking quarter-final appearance. 2-1 up on Dave Gilbert. And then we have Haiguo Jiang, brand new professional, having qualified by the Asia Oceania Q School, former world under-18 champion. And Fan Zhengyi also in action, of course, this evening against Ma Hailon. So still plenty of snooker underway, but by the end of the evening we will know all 8 quarter-finalists. Still 4 spots to fill in the quarter-final draw. All 4 of those matches coming up over 2 sessions tomorrow, and the best of 9 frames, first to 5 to go through to the last 4 on Saturday. So Selby back.
Selby.
And ready to break off in frame 4. 2 frames away from the last 8. On the first of his 22 ranking titles back in 2008, Mark Selby in the Welsh Open, beating Ronnie O'Sullivan from 3 down with 4 to play, having just previously claimed his first major title, first of his 3 Masters crowns. And he could have done without that secondary kiss. So having knocked in a quite brilliant long red on his way to a century to level this match, Gilbert has failed with his 2 subsequent attempts into that left corner pocket from distance, and that one could be another expensive one with that unkindly kiss, leaving Selby an easy starter.
3 фрейма до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Hasn't worked out quite as he'd hoped.
Selby for 4.
So just the safety, but how typical it is of Selby to swallow the disappointment of running out of prime position and playing a telling safety shot, which he has done. He's got Dave Gilbert tight to the baulk rail. He'll just be able to catch the outside edge of this red on the top cushion. There's the danger you can hit these too thick, though. Which he did. Luckily for him, I think no damage done. He's pushed the luck into an awkward spot, which doesn't help his cause, given that he's 34 behind. So we can knock this in. No, just the safety. I was going to say he's going into other reds if he tried to pot it.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Guaranteed £12,000 to the winner of tonight's match. 8,000 to whoever bows out at this stage of the tournament. £100,000 for the winner on Sunday. 45,000 to the losing finalist. And of course, these tournaments carrying the big prize money, it's so important with the Players Series events in mind next year, which are based on your one-year ranking. World Grand Prix for the top 32, Players Championship for the top 16. And Selby goes in off, so half a chance here for Gilbert if he can knock in one of these long reds, put himself back in the frame. The Tour Championship has been expanded somewhat this year. Up until now it's been the preserve of the top 8 on the one-year list. But they're all very lucrative events, and they're all based on how you do this season. So if you can get a really deep run in one of these big money tournaments early in the season, you're setting yourself up to qualify for those. And of course you get ranking points in those tournaments as well, so it really is a springboard to improving your ranking or cementing your spot high up in the rankings. Dave Gilbert looking to get back amongst the game's elite, currently at 25 in the world, formerly a world number 10. Can he knock this red in and get himself back in the frame? Kiss he wanted. He'll still be able to pop the green. Meanwhile, Fan Chengyi has now moved 3-1 up on Ma Hai Long.
4.
Over on table 4. Barry Hawkins has levelled up with He Guozhang on table 3, so 1 apiece there. Still Fergal O'Brien 2, Jack Lazowski 1.
5.
Dear.
Так, 3 фрейма до перемоги в матчі.
Very expensive. Just as he was looking to get himself back in the frame, he's undercut this one. And he's left an easy starter for Selby. Who's in turn lost control of the cue ball a little there, and pretty sure he was playing the blue or possibly the pink. Either way, he's gone further than he intended. Now having to look at the yellow to get himself back into prime position. I don't think that's gone quite to plan either. Again, Selby's overcooked that. As you can see, neither of those reds go. So he'll be a little frustrated after Gilbert's error that he's not been able to get a tight rein on the cue ball at the start of this break. Another retrieving shot required, although he's been good at making them tonight. And he's done so again. But this is the problem when you run out of position. You start to chase your tail a little and it can be difficult to get it back again. Looks like the snooker.
Selby.
Well, Selby will be disappointed. He didn't make more of that chance for sure. But he's still in control of the frame at the moment. 24 in front, and Gilbert snookered on all reds.
Selby.
Things have suddenly got a bit scrappy. Certainly a red you'd have expected Mark Selby to pot. Just keeping Dave Gilbert interested here. That's two chances that Selby's had to potentially put this frame away, and he's not taken them. Again, not getting prime position, just a little short of pace for the pink. Still on it, but it's thinner than he would have liked. And that means less control of the cue ball.
Так, 3 фрейма до перемоги в цьому матчі.
He's actually played that very well, though, in and out of court. To retrieve prime position, so Gilbert getting himself back into this frame. Obviously a very big frame for Dave Gilbert. 3-1 down to Selby, that's a big ask. But if he can win this frame, given that Selby's had a couple of clear opportunities to put it away, it would be a major boost. God, he's missed the pink. So this has become a very scrappy affair. Just looking to see if there's space for the red to pass the pink, having missed it into the yellow pocket. Looks as though there might be. Yeah, it clearly is. It's not an easy pot, but it's another chance for Selby to pull away in this frame. No, he's caught the near jaw, so mistakes keep on coming. Not a gimme, but once again, one you'd have expected Selby to get. By far and away the scrappiest frame so far. That's a nice pot. He's managed to develop the drink a little. So just 13 behind now. Can get position on his next red. Have a chance to win the frame.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Gilbert.
On we go. He's going to grab this frame by the scruff of the neck. Feels like a very big one now, given the chances both players have had. Cutting the red. Somebody thought of it. Another chance for Selby to put it away.
Selby won.
Wow. That is a very surprising mistake from Selby. Both players have queued really well in the first 3 frames. Gilbert, of course, with a century to level up at 1-1, but they both made a lot of mistakes in this one. Gilbert will feel as though he's got to win this frame now, given the opportunities that Selby has squandered. Needs to make this match 2 each from here. Selby something to think about. Clearly the problem for Gilbert is going to be the brown. Just 1 point behind now. If he Everything else is eminently potable. It's always going to be difficult. So end break. And this frame still in the balance. 2 points between them with the 4 colours remaining.
Gilbert, mate.
Yeah, that's well played. A full 12 feet between cue ball and object ball. So Gilbert with the slight edge. Very scrappy frame, but they all count. And you feel as though Gilbert needs it more than Selby, actually. Not that Selby wouldn't be frustrated not to win it, given the chances he's had. Double kiss, that wasn't part of the plan, but he's got away with it.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
So, can Gilbert knock in this brown? If he can, he's got a great chance of winning the frame and levelling the match. Here's Jack Lazowski. Very tough pot for Selby, even if he were minded to take it on. He's very straight on it, so some terrific cueing. You just play safe. Sounds like drama at the end of the frame next door between Lazowski and O'Brien. And there is Jack Lazowski clinching the frame. What a big frame for him. He was 2-0 down to Fergal O'Brien, but he's levelled things up at 2-all. That's what Dave Gilbert's trying to achieve here. Frame littered with mistakes. I guess you'd make Selby the slight favourite in this situation, given his tactical prowess. Both players need 3 balls. And given the position of blue and pink, you would think that it's a brown ball game. So best safety from Selby. He's knocked in breaks of 59 and 60 in the 2 frames he's won, in between that sparkling century from Gilbert, launched by one of the long pots of the tournament. This has been a very different kind of frame, but who is going to come out on top of it? Going to be considered an opportunity for Selby if he can knock this brown in. Gilbert undercutting the brown, and he wouldn't have been on the blue even if it had gone in. That's a terrific pot. That really is a terrific pot. Wants that cue ball to hold up a little, because he's going away from the pink from that angle. It was a great pot. Problem for Selby here is getting close to the pink. It'll be difficult. You just have to bite the bullet and take it on from distance. Just looking at where he can leave the cue ball.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
That was all he could do, really. So this is the all-important shot. He only needs the pink for a 3-1 lead. Not easy by any means. He's got to hit it perfectly. But it will put him within a frame of the quarterfinals. And he's missed it. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Just seemed to play it in a slightly defensive manner rather than punch it in, and that is surely going to cost him the frame. Gilbert needs the black as well. Oh, hang on. Where's the cue ball? Goodness me.
6.
Oh, he was flirting with calamity there, but in what has been an error-strewn frame, very much against the grain of the previous 3, really. It's this for 2 each. And in it goes, and what a relief for Dave Gilbert. Yeah, holds his hand up because he very nearly went in off the pink there, and that would have been end of frame. But Mark Selby can't say he didn't have chances to take that frame. He really should have done. As it is, it's 2 each. reaching the sharp end of our remaining matches in the round of 16 here on the 4th evening of the Kazoo British Open. Dave Gilbert and Mark Selby locked at 3 frames all. Jack Lazowski now leads Fergal O'Brien by 3 frames to 2. And Barry Hawkins trailing China's He Guojiang by 3 frames to 1. I'll tell you that He is in front in frame 5 as I speak. He's 32 to the good with 51 left, so Hawkins with a lot of work to do to turn that one around from there. Leo Scullion returns to the arena. It's down to this final frame to see who will go through to the last 8 here.
The deciding frame.
In Cheltenham.
Dave Gilbert to break.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
dramatic ending to that fifth frame, and Barry Hawkins has kept his hopes alive by potting the deciding black to close to 3-2 behind from the brink of defeat. As Dave Gilbert misses the red. So it's all happening at the back end of this fourth day. We've seen a lot of that this week when players have used pace into these pockets. Quite often they've come unstuck. So now the opportunity now falls to Mark Selby, who's just come off the back of his best break of the match to force this decider. And frame 6 to go with the 59 and 60 he made earlier. Gilbert made 105 in the second frame and 70 to go 3-2 up.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Selby looking to finish this match in style. He lost his way for a couple of frames. Should have been 3-1 up, really. And then found himself 3-2 down, but when Dave Gilbert missed the black off its spot into the left corner, typically for a player of Selby's calibre, he rose to the occasion and made the most of that reprieve. And now looking to do likewise in this decider. shorter pace there, the red above the black. Seen a lot of this kind of pot mist during this tournament. Meanwhile, Jack Lazowski and Fergal O'Brien still going at it, hammer and tongs. There's Tatiana Wollaston, wife of Ben. Yeah, once again, one of those cut-back pots is missed. So, Selby with just the 19-point lead. And here's a chance for Dave Gilbert. It was thin, but he overcut it by quite a margin. Gilbert do from this opportunity? We've done with the cue ball travelling a couple of extra inches there. Not quite sure what this debate is about, to be honest. It's hard to tell. Maybe to do with a free ball.
Okay.
Lazowski leading 3-2, having been 2-0 behind.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Can Gilbert get through to the red below the pink? It would appear he can do. Hear about players saying, when it comes to a deciding frame of a match like this, just give me one chance. Well, Selby had a chance, couldn't make the most of it. This is Gilbert's chance. Of course, it doesn't mean that you'll only get one chance, but at least if you've had a chance, it's down to you, and if you don't take it, well, you've got no one to blame but yourself. But sometimes you don't get a chance in the decider. Both players have had one, and it's just a question now of what capital Gilbert can make from his. He's just 1 point behind.
takes.
Excellent pot, right in the centre. So just 1 point between them now. 3 reds left. Looks as though he's just about on that red, below the black. Again, these have to be bang on if you're using pace, which Selby will be, screwing back. Yeah, just resetting for a moment. He knows this is a big shot. I'm not surprised. It's been that way throughout the tournament. Whenever a player has had to inject pace into the cue ball from a tightish angle into these corner pockets, they found it difficult to find the accuracy. So this frame remains in the balance. Just over 2 hours of play. And the outcome still very much in doubt.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
And here's Barry Hawkins forcing a deciding frame. What a match that's proving to be. He Guojiang of China was very close to winning 4-1, but it's now down to a final frame in that one too.
Oh, I miss. Like Selby.
Meanwhile, Dave Gilbert fouls after the snooker laid by Mark Selby.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Red ball. Selby,
Mark Selby just keeping control of the table here with now only 43 remaining, 6 points in it. Who is going to prevail? Couldn't be tighter, really.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Pretty tense stuff here as we head towards the witching hour in Cheltenham. Still places to be claimed in the quarterfinals of the British Open. In all 3 matches still on the table. Oh no, that's gone wrong. That's gone wrong. But it could have been a lot worse. Dave Gilbert holds his hand up. Could easily have left something straightforward for Selby there, and that could have been the end of the match. As it is, things look relatively safe, even though all the balls are now out in the open, so whoever gets in next will have a very presentable chance to win the match, you would think. Fergal O'Brien and Jack Lazowski just a few feet away, battling it out on table 2. Lazowski 3-2 up in that one. It's gone to a decider in the match between Barry Hawkins and He Guojiang, who did lead 3-1 at one stage. Earlier on, there were victories for Mark Williams over Ding Junhui, 4-2. Hossein Vafai over Graham Dott. And Zhao Guodong over Ali Carter by the same 4-2 scoreline. Tom Ford beat Scott Donaldson 4-1. And in the second batch of matches tonight, just the one result so far, and that was Fan Zhengyi, former European Masters champion, beating the current world amateur champion Ma Hailong by 4 frames to 1. Here's Jack Lazowski looking to finish the job if he can against Fergal O'Brien. 51 left on the table by the look of it. Lazowski in front in that frame, but not over the line yet.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
What a battle this has become. First 3 frames were won with good breaks, but pace has dropped since then. Had a 30-minute frame, this one now into its 36th minute. It's all about getting to 4 and getting yourself into the quarterfinals tomorrow. And the quarterfinals tomorrow are now officially the quarterfinals today, as we pass the midnight hour, with 3 spots still to be decided. Barry Hawkins is in early in the decider against He Guozhang. Very early stages though. And here is Jack Lazowski perhaps applying the finishing touches against Fergal O'Brien. He had trailed 2-0. Not the best safety from Selby by his very high standards. But it looks as though Lazowski is going to seal a 4-2 victory and get himself in the last 8. Lazowski, remember, has been in 6 ranking finals, but has yet to win 1. Could this be his week? He will play the winner of this match, assuming he does seal victory there. Where's this red going to end up? In a potable position, I think. Yep. Mark Selby with half a chance. Still going to have the awkward red close to the side cushion to negotiate, but if he can knock this in, he might be able to get into a position where he can release that red into a better position. Oh no, called it too thick. It's getting very edgy out there, understandably.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Oh,
Well,
Mark Selby, 4.
he's gone in off, but maybe that's not the worst result for Dave Gilbert. Wouldn't have wanted that cue ball flying back up the table and possibly into a spot where Mark Selby could have put him in greater trouble. And again, if Selby can knock this red in, then he could be in business. But nothing is easy at this stage. Has he got the pace? I don't think so.
Oh, a miss. Dave Gilbert, 4.
Looks short again.
Oh, a miss. Dave Gilbert, 4.
Obviously, there's no forfeit of the frame and the match here because he's snookered on both reds. Now, can Gilbert possibly clip this red in? It's not a very inviting shot. Not much of the pocket to aim at, but it is potable, I think. It's obviously a thin one. There you are. Nearly 17 minutes since the last pot. Perhaps surprisingly, given the scrappy nature of this decider, all of the colours are still out in the open. Albeit only the black is on its spot. Fergal O'Brien battling away. I think he needed a snooker in that frame. Not sure whether he's got it or not. He's gone for the top pocket, but didn't really get close. So on we go. Still 43 on the table, 2 points between them.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Dave Gilbert's average shot time in this match is nearly 30 seconds. That's some way lower than he would normally be playing at. I can tell you that Fergal O'Brien did need a snooker. And there are now enough points on the table for the former British Open champion to force a decider against Jack Lisowski. So there could be some late drama in that one. Well, there already is, but there could be even more. Still very early stages of the decider between Barry Hawkins and He Guojiang. Everything feels as though it's ground to a halt right now in Cheltenham. I think Selby took the pot on, didn't get close to it, and he's left the red. The only good news for Selby is that he's pushed the yellow into a safer spot. And of course the other red is also not ideal, so still some way to go in this frame yet, potentially.
One.
Wasn't able to promote the yellow. It's just a battle for survival out there at the moment. Both players probably feeling very fatigued. Very late finish. And there, finally, I think Jack Lisowski has got the job done. He suffered a scare just now, as mentioned. Fergal O'Brien got the snooker he needed. But Lisowski has had the last word and has come through by 4 frames to 2. So we now know that Lisowski will play either Mark Selby or Dave Gilbert in the quarterfinals tomorrow, or later today, in fact. But which will it be? That is still the question to be answered here.
Oh, and a miss. Dave Gilbert, 4.
Going back. Just one other match outstanding now, of course. Barry Hawkins against He Guojiang into a decider, as this one is, although it's in the earlier stages on table 3. There's Rob Spencer.
Do you want me to move it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, Leo. Just move it a full ball towards you. Right, okay, so that's, yeah, I mean, that looks good on the screen.
Okay. Just, I'll double check the white while I'm here.
A touch towards me, Leo. Just give me a sec. Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah.
Mark White, Bullock. Yeah, thanks.
Everyone's happy, so take two.
Так,
So
2.
we go for
Трьох
pace this time.
перемоги в цьому
Miss.
матчі.
Steve Gilbert, 4. 3 ball. Back, yeah.
A free ball awarded, but no real use to Dave Gilbert, so it's going to be put back. Well, the red will cut into the green pocket. There's still the issue with the awkward yellow.
One.
Can obviously drop the pink in, but pretty much impossible, you would think, to get to the yellow from there. Eight points the lead. What a battle this has turned into. A very different match in the first few frames, first three in particular.
Blue ball.
Not bothering with the pink. I think he's going to lay the snooker.
Steve Gilbert, 1.
So we're down to the colours.
Foul, a miss. Steve Gilbert, 4.
All these points are potentially useful for Gilbert.
Yeah, Steve, thanks.
Got it right for the second time of asking. So Gilbert's lead now 12 points. Which means he would need yellow, green and brown as things stand, but who knows how things are going to unfold from here. Hawkins with a modest lead in the decider against Hay. Currently 25 points in front, the Hawk, but at the table on a break. He was 3-1 down, won the 5th frame on the final black. It will be some escape act if he can pull it off against the new professional.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Foul and a miss. Selby.
And a free ball. Must be. No free ball. Well, clearly the free ball was awarded. So, chance for Selby. He couldn't have played that much better. But he's still faced with a very difficult shot if he's going to take this yellow on. The black, of course, counting as an extra yellow. As we know, playing with pace into these corner pockets, particularly along the rail, very, very difficult. Big, big shot this. Oh, that is a terrific shot from Selby. That might be the shot of the match, given the context, given the situation. That was fantastic. He didn't hold back there. There was risk attached. If he'd missed it, he could have left it for Gilbert, but he got it. And now he's got a chance to win the match. And that was a shot that deserves to win a match. Fantastic pot, given the circumstances. Just 1 point behind, so he's going to need the pink as well as brown and blue. Well, it's only 11 this break, but what a break it's been. 3 outstanding shots. The free ball black to get to the yellow. The yellow was superb, and that green was well struck as well. But he's still got to get from blue to pink. But that yellow will undoubtedly be one of the shots of the tournament. What a pot it was. And so Mark Selby in this marathon match at 22 minutes past midnight local time here in Cheltenham has this pink for a place in his 92nd ranking event quarter-final. And he's missed it. Incredible. The drama continues. Where's this pink going to end up? Well, I thought he might just roll that in, actually. Decided to punch it, but didn't get close, really. But that's landed in an awkward spot for Gilbert because he's got no angle to work with. And, of course, he needs the black as well. That said, he'll be delighted to still be in the match. He must have thought the game was up after Selby's superb pot on the yellow. Yeah, couldn't have played that a lot better. He's found the baulk cushion. This frame, over an hour old, incredible.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Dave Gilbert, no stranger to long final frame deciders. Remember his match with Fergal O'Brien, who's just bowed out in the last few minutes to Jack Lazowski at the World Championship qualifying. 2 hours, 3 minutes, 41 seconds. And in that match, there was an entire hour, the length of this frame so far, devoted to a single ball, the yellow. So this is comparatively brisk. Mark Selby, of course, only needs the pink. He's already had one go at it. Yeah, another good safety from Selby, who nevertheless will still be thinking about the pink that he missed just now for the match. Having potted such a great series of balls to get to that stage, it was a surprise that he didn't pot it. But is it going to cost him? Selby keeping the pressure on. Crowd certainly getting value for money, those spectators that have stayed to see the climax of this match. What a battle it's been. 1 or 2 beginning to feel the pace, understandably.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Another excellent safety from Selby. Perfect strength. You have to scrape him off the table. He's not played his best this evening by any means. He's had moments where he's looked good. Gilbert had those early in the match. It's become a bit of a slog, but he's no less difficult to beat. Now, where's this going to end up? I think he's okay. Nothing like some late night stroke early morning drama at the snooker. There's been a lot of that down the years.
Так, 3 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Six. David Gilbert, 6. Foul. Selby 7 frame and a match. Well done. Thank you. Thanks, Rob.